King Harris has become not just a name in headlines, but a lightning rod for debates about celebrity, family, rumor, and reputation. People see arrest records, viral moments, resurfaced videos, and many assume the rest. But how much of what you think you know is actually on record? And how much is speculation? In this story, we walk through all confirmed incidents, explore the rumors, and see how media and public perception have shaped what people believe about King. The truth is rarely clean, but sometimes knowing what's verifiable and what isn't changes everything. The claims everyone's repeating, but can anyone prove them? Rumor claims around King Harris persist with intensity. Among the most repeated are that he was violently assaulted in prison, hospitalized or placed in intensive care, the victim of a targeted hit, and possibly serving more serious detention than publicly recorded. Some rumors even suggest complicity from insiders, or that law enforcement is hiding details. However, when we examine what documentation exists, those claims fall short. There is no medical or hospital record made public confirming serious injury, no law enforcement statement confirming any coordinated attack or special charges beyond what has already been acknowledged. No filing that shows a dramatic sentence or long-term confinement tied to alleged violence. What seems likely is that some rumors stem from misinterpretation of existing arrests, conflation with other cases, or embellishment by commentary creators wanting to keep viewers engaged. For example, a resurfaced video might show bruising typical of a physical arrest. Rumor transposes that into hospital violence. An argument or overheard concern might be reframed into coordinated threat. All this becomes plausible in public imagination, but until it's verified, it remains rumor. Born in the spotlight, judged in public. Born into fame, King Harris grew up largely under public observation. His parents are figures in both music and television. His father, T.I., a rapper and actor. His mother, Tiny, a singer, TV personality, and entrepreneur. With that lineage come expectations. Stories tell of King attending private schools, traveling in the entertainment world, and encountering early exposure to cameras and media. Even childhood birthdays, family events, and photo shoots all carried potential for media coverage. Growing up in such a space means that development happens under dual lenses. 1. Personal growth. 2. Public image. When King was young, fans and media often viewed him as T.I. and Tiny's son, an automatic association that came with privilege, yes, but also immediate judgment. Mistakes are more visible. Comparisons to siblings and peers happen faster, and the margin for misperception is narrow. Understanding this background is crucial because it sets the scene. It informs why certain moments, arguments, arrests, rumors, carry weight. It explains why people inside and outside his circle tend to believe that something behind the public persona got away from view, even when much is still unseen. The sideline clash that framed the narrative. In November 2023, during an Atlanta Falcons home game, tensions between King Harris and T.I. spilled into a public argument. A video shows visible frustration, not just at the moment, but in the way emotions boiled over in front of thousands. It was more than a father-son spat. It felt symbolic. Privilege versus proving oneself. Fame versus individuality. Immediately, commentary exploded. Fans on social media criticized King's attitude. Others sympathized. He's young and under pressure. Media outlets such as Page 6, Hip Hop DX, and XXL covered it. Not just for the drama, but for what it revealed. The weight of public expectation and the cracks in glamour. People analyzed body language, tone, posture. Some took the clip as evidence King was rebelling. Others saw a plea for understanding. The moment became a hinge. After it, many discussions around King's name treated every new incident through that lens, as though the Falcons game established something permanent about his character. Whether fair or not, that video snippet continues to color how people interpret later events. From viral to official, when paperwork entered the chat. October 2024 brought something more concrete. King Harris was arrested in Dunwoody, Georgia, according to multiple outlet reports. The charge? Failure to appear in court connected to a prior traffic infraction. A warrant was issued. Law enforcement executed it. Outlets like Fox 5 Atlanta, WSB TV, and the Atlanta Journal-Constitution published the facts. Date, location, warrant details. Part of the impact lies in the nature of that kind of arrest. To many, failure to appear suggests negligence or something avoidable. But legally, it's a serious matter. It means contact with the justice system, record creation, and possible consequences beyond fines. For King, this arrest shifted him from viral moments to actual public record.
Even so, what is not on record is important. No credible report has confirmed that he was charged with anything violent. No documentation shows extended detainment beyond what standard processing requires. The arrest itself was serious in public eyes, but not extraordinary in legal terms, or at least not based on information currently available. That said, this event plays a pivotal role in how rumors layer. It gives rumor makers a timeline to stretch or reframe, because once someone has an arrest, every claim after tends to be compared to what we already know. The gap between public understanding and legal documentation becomes fertile ground for speculation. Old footage, new fire. In August 2025, a video from King's 2024 arrest resurfaced. Not new content, just old footage. Retitled, reshared, reframed. But its effects were immediate. Channels and social media exploded again. Conversations restarted. Who is King really? Is there something behind the silence? That resurfaced footage acted like a trigger point for public memory and rumor culture. Why does resurfacing matter so much? Visuals are sticky. They evoke emotion. An old video might show tiredness, bruising, a moment of crisis, or simply law enforcement processing a suspect. But framed with suggestive titles and commentary, it can be interpreted as proof of something worse. Many viewers saw the resurfaced video under new frames, speculation about hospital stays, violent charges, or worse. The metadata, titles, comments, thumbnails, often do more work than the video itself in shaping belief. Even with this explosion of attention, though, no new verified legal records have confirmed additional charges or hospitalizations tied to that video. But many viewers treat its recirculation as new evidence anyway. It's a pattern. Old visuals, recontextualized, become rumor accelerants. Why rumors stick. Visibility, gaps, and human nature. Several dynamics make rumors around King Harris hard to contain. Visibility by inheritance plays a part. Being the son of public figures means scrutiny starts early. People expect him to embody both his father's reputation and his own potential, leaving little room for invisibility. There's also an expectation versus reality tension. The public often expects polished behavior from celebrity children, and when reality diverges, whether by choice, circumstance, or miscommunication, perception suffers. Media incentives drive sensational headlines. Words like attack, hospital, and prison pull attention, while commentary pieces, reaction videos, and social media thrive on speculation. Once a rumor hits, more creators pick it up because engagement spikes. Timeline gaps add to the mix. Periods between verified events leave voids, and in those voids, rumors, assumptions, and unverified claims find space. Resurfaced footage or renewed interest tends to reopen those gaps. Visual and narrative power matters too. Humans respond to story arcs of conflict, danger, and redemption. King's life shows early privilege, public missteps, and rumor-filled space. That arc invites narrative, which rumor makers and media eagerly supply, and confirmation bias seals the process. Once people believe some parts of the rumor climate, such as that King has had trouble, they are more likely to believe new claims, perhaps giving them more credence than warranted. This environment makes it almost inevitable
that rumor outpaces verification when someone in the public eye like King Harris is involved. Family name. Public pressure. Public image for King Harris isn't just about what he does, it's about what the public thinks he should do. As part of the Harris legacy, he carries expectations inherited from his father and mother. Musical talent. Professionalism. Composure under pressure. When one story emerges, viral moment, arrest, rumor, it reflects not just on him, but on the family brand. For T.I. and Tiny, responses to controversies matter. If they speak, public perception shifts. If they remain silent or ambiguous, rumor fills the space. Sometimes efforts are made behind the scenes, legal teams, PR, statements with limited scope. But the more dramatic rumors grow, the harder it is to control the narrative. Family unity, or barbs between public and private personas, also play a role. When small disagreements happen privately, public speculation can amplify them to major divisions. King's own path forward is complicated. He's navigating adolescence or early adulthood in public. Choices he makes, social media, public statements, creative work, are scrutinized differently. Missteps likely cost more, but potential also builds, especially if verified clarity emerges through confirmed statements, creative output, or legal transparency. The question is whether he will be known for past missteps or for confronting them. What's solid and what isn't? Looking back, the clearest confirmed events in King Harris's public timeline include the November 2023 Falcons game confrontation, the October 2024 arrest in Dunwoody, and the resurfacing of that arrest footage in August 2025. These are supported by multiple independent media reports, court documentation in the case of the arrest, and recorded visuals. On the speculative side are claims like severe injuries, prison assaults, undisclosed charges, and long-term detentions. For each rumor, there is usually no public filing, no verified medical confirmation, no named official source willing to be quoted. What often happens is that people assume when there is silence, there is something to hide. Or they assume that because a video shows bruising or police interaction, that must imply worse than what is documented. What this timeline shows is that King Harris's story is a mix, a foundation of real events built into layers of rumor and interpretation. The more people revisit earlier confirmed moments through new lenses, the more those moments take on meaning they may not have originally held. Once rumors begin, the echo chamber takes over. A social media post claims something, commentary expands, and news outlets sometimes report with caution or ambiguity, but headlines often prioritize click value over precision. Visuals, especially videos, are central. A worn-down face, a visible injury, a law enforcement interaction, all are powerful prompts. Titles and thumbnails often do more narrative framing than the content itself. Audience participation plays a big role. Comments, replies, memes, and reaction videos reinforce certain interpretations. Even if someone doubts a rumor, seeing many others who believe it can shift perception. Crowdsourced storytelling becomes a factor. This isn't new, but today's visibility and speed make it more powerful than ever. Additionally, when rumors persist and remain unconfirmed, they sometimes gain credibility simply by repetition. Hearing a claim repeated across multiple videos or social posts can make it feel true, even when no evidence increases. That effect works strongly with people who didn't follow every prior anchor event. Media outlets have occasionally attempted clarifications. Sometimes they label things unverified, rumor, or reports say, but such qualifiers are often less visible than bold claims. Many viewers skip to headlines or thumbnails. Once a bold claim is seen, corrections rarely sink in. What would actually change the story? The next major turn in this story will depend on what can be verified. Legal filings or court documents could confirm new charges or sentencing details. Medical or hospital records, if ever made public, would immediately reshape the discussion if they confirmed injuries. Public statements from King, T.I., Tiny, or attorney representatives,
especially if detailed and specific, could strongly influence public opinion. New creative work, such as music or interviews, might let King reclaim the narrative himself. Deep reporting with on-the-record sources could clarify or correct key claims. And if major outlets begin to emphasize verification and correction as much as initial headlines, rumor dynamics could shift. Watch how information is presented. When an article says hospitalized, but then clarifies unverified source says, the qualifier is key. A question worth sitting with. King Harris's public narrative is shaped by what is confirmed, what is alleged, and how people piece those together. Verified moments, viral confrontation, legal arrest, resurfaced footage form the backbone. Rumors grow around the gaps. The electric space between what we know and what we suspect often becomes the dominant story. You're left with choices: trust headlines and speculation, or demand proof. Wait for documentation, or accept what's repeated. Because in stories like this, what you question becomes as important as what you accept. So here's the question. When public stories leave details out, do you believe the loudest voices, or do you wait for confirmation? How you answer may determine what stories get believed next.